Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. How are you today? I hope you're always healthy and happy. Okay, but before we start today's lesson, I want to ask you first, do you know what this picture is? Okay, let's guess. Do you know what this picture is?
Trees, fruits,
Yeah, here there are trees, fruit, and the fruit falling to the ground, seeds, and the animals. What do you think this picture is about?
seeds dispersal,
Yes, correct. Good job. Then do you know how the seeds dispersal? And how is the process? Okay, to find out more, let's learn together. Today, we will learn about seed dispersal and its ecological significance. As we know, seed is the basic input for agriculture, vehicle for transfer of information from one generation to another generation. Seeds have many ways of dispersing, like animals, wind, water, and mechanical release. Seeds various morphological adaptation, which aid their dispersal. By investigating external seed structure, detailed information about the modes, agent, and structural adaptation are addressed here today. So don't skip it. Seed contains an embryo abandoned in an endosperm nutritious tissue. It contains an immature plant and everything it needs to sprout in a new location, become established, and eventually grow into an adult plant. Without seeds, forests would not be able to regenerate. Forests are important because they provide many ecological services such as clean air and clean water, and they provide us with a lot of valuable products such as wood and food. All plants need water, sun, and space in order to grow. A seed cannot get the things it needs to grow if it falls immediately below its parents, because its parent is already using the resources in that location. Therefore, seeds need to get to a new location in order to find the resources necessary from growth. This relocation of seeds is called dispersal. Dispersal is defined as the unidirectional movement of an organism away from its place of birth. Seeds lack the fundamental structure that animals use to move from one place to another, such as legs or wings. As such, seeds evolve different strategies for dispersing to new location. Seed dispersal occur mainly by four means. First, dispersal by wind. This type of dispersal is known as anemochory. The agent of dispersal is wind. Seeds must be light and small with a high surface or volume ratio. Some plants have evolved seeds that use wind power to transport them from one place to another. Wind dispersed seeds must be smaller and lighter in weight. They might have special structures that catch the air, such as wing or fluff. The structure increases the seed's hang time in the air and allow them to travel extremely far distances. Second, dispersal by water is known as hydrochory. The agent of dispersal is water, and plants that grow beside or in water often use water to disperse their seeds. These seeds are made waterproof and can be fluff or other structure to increase their buoyancy. Seeds are resistant to sinking. They use the surface tension in air cavity, which reduce specific gravity, allowing them to float. Seeds are placed in deep layer so the salt concentration does not affect the seed's germination or avoid any situation or exosmosis. The third is dispersal by animals. It is known as zoochory. Agent or dispersal are birds, insects, bats, and other herbivores. The seeds are usually light and are sticky or provided with hooks. Some plants produce freshly edible fruits containing seeds in them that are dispersed through the waste excreted by the animals. Squirrels bury seeds and forget where they bury them, thus planting a tree far away from the parent plants. They deposit the seeds along with a fertilizer supply miles from the parent plant where the fruit was eaten. And then, myrmecochory, seed dispersal by ants. These plants produce seeds with elaisomes or food bodies rich in lipids, amino acid, or other nutrients that are attractive to ants and thereby get dispersed. Fourth, autochory. Some seeds literally use an explosion to disperse their seeds. The seeds of these dispersers reside in pods, and as the pod dries out, it will eventually burst, expelling seeds in every direction. Some seeds have evolved a popping mechanism for short distances dispersal. As the seed matures, the pod or husk dries out and may start to shrink around the seeds. After it shrinks so far, it may pop and scatter the seeds around. And the advantage of seed dispersal with this technique are decrease the competition between the parent plant and the seeds or seeding dormancy. And also, at decreasing overcrowding so avoids competition for environment, light, space, and nutrient. And then reduce the number of seeds lost due to predation. Actually, the ecological significance of seed dispersal by animals play an important role in the seed dispersal of many plants. Some carnivores act as secondary dispersers by preying on primary seed dispersers or seed predators, inadvertently consuming seeds contained in their prey's digestive tracts and later depositing viable seeds, a process known as diploendozochory. Carnivores occupy an array of ecological niches and thus range broadly on the landscape. They may have an influence on seed dispersal. For example, trophic downgrading through the loss of carnivores may reduce or eliminate diploendozochory and thus compromise population connectivity for lower trophic levels. So, the ecological impact of a secondary versus primary seed disperser depends on the relative dispersal distances, germination success, and the proportion of seeds exposed to secondary dispersal by carnivores. A study proves that by using video cameras, they confirm that birds were the primary seed dispersers. captive bird feeding trial to obtain gut pest seed to use in a seedling emergencies experiment. The experiment showed that gut pest seeds emerged sooner and at a higher proportion than seeds from whole fruits. It is a clear-cut indication that as the primary seed disperser is lost, the vegetation also gets vanished in the ecosystem. So, dispersal of seeds is a boon in terms of afforestation and ban if the same thing happens in the case of weeds. However, the situation is seed dispersal is of pivotal importance. The seed dispersal will have a great influence on the ecology, and in turn the ecology also facilitate the dispersal of seeds and allow the necessary modification. That's all our lesson this time about seed dispersal, and we'll meet another time everyone. Bye. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.